I often, when I give talks in schools in this country, I often say, well, where does India fit in American history? And I'm surprised that hardly any history teacher, all these, once I was made chair of the Asian Studies in the state of New York by the governor. And so he had his sister, that particular governor, his sister was a teacher, educator. So she brought all these leading educators to a discussion on this. And I said, I first want to ask you, when you're teaching, why do you want to teach India, and how would you teach India in the context of American history? Not one of them started by saying, you know, that's what Columbus was looking for. Not one of them thought of that. It was not positioned that way in their head. So then I had to tell them that the Queen of Spain was like a venture capitalist looking for a big intellectual property breakthrough, which would be worth a lot. And that was a sea route to India. And because the sea route would bypass the land hassles of the land route. And the reason the land route was a hassle is because the Ottoman Empire, which was Muslims, the Ottoman Empire, controlled Central Asia, Eastern Europe. So the land route, which was traditionally called the Silk Route, from China and India on one side and Europe on the other side, blocked by the Ottoman Empire. So either they would not let things through, or they would charge 20 times the price. They would decide as a strategic advantage they had access to the Indian and Chinese goods. Europeans did not. It was a huge problem because Europe needed these things. And there was no sea route at that time. There was no Suez Canal. There was no around Africa, none of that. So the Columbus journey was a venture capital journey to find a sea route to India. And that is how this whole thing started. So you see, if you look at, and then Vasco da Gama took the route around Africa. One of them wanted to take the route across the Pacific, across the Atlantic, and the other one around Africa. So going east and west respectively, hoping to find India, and didn't know that American continent is in the middle, and the rest we all know what happened.